Well, howdy, everybody. You're listening to Profoundish. Today, Weston and I are going to be talking about PC gaming versus console gaming. We're going to be talking about podcasts, video podcasts, YouTube and TikTok algorithms, all kinds of random things. And then at the very end of that segment, we're going to be talking about little gadgets and knickknacks we used to carry around with us. And then after that, we're going to be playing 20 questions. Do either of us guess what the other person is thinking? Well, you're going to have to listen to find out. This is Profoundish. I was just thinking, we just had this lengthy discussion about PC gaming and console gaming, and we didn't record a lick of it.
We could have recorded all of it and had half of a podcast done.
I know. Well, what's the recap? I mean, you and I both switched to PC gaming.
Yeah, we talked about switching from consoles to PC. We talked about Game Pass. We talked about Baldur's Gate and Starfield. And we talked about, I don't even know what the recap is. It's just, we're just talking video game stuff. We're talking about like the pros and cons of PC optimization and it kind of being your baby, and then if you're a PC gamer, your PC's kind of like your home or whatever, and a console is just kind of like a console. And
I'm thinking about I guess I'll do a little bit of shop talk here. I'm wanting to eventually make a portable solution. So my goal is to eventually be fully remote, my own boss, doing my own thing. You already know that, but
of course,
trying to think of the best way to be able to travel, but still have a decent setup that's not a laptop, And so far what I've thought is, and I've looked into this, and I guess you can do it, as long as you have you can actually do it with a laptop. It has to support it. But if you can get a laptop that can support it, you can carry around a laptop with an external video card. Because for me, I'd need to do a lot of video editing mainly just video editing stuff. And which would be intensive on that. And I didn't know you could do that, but you can. You can actually get like these housings for video cards, and as long as it has the proper power and the proper I/O on the laptop, you can actually do that. And then that would help minimize what all you bring. And then I was thinking, well, then you can also, you can pack up, they have portable monitors that fold up into cases and stuff. And I don't know how nice those monitors are, but there's definitely options. And I'm just trying to find the best way to do that without having to spend, because I was going to say, without being limited by a laptop. Laptops have come a long way even since I've last owned a nice one. But I would really not want to spend $2,000 on another laptop when I could use my old GPU that I have in storage now that's still decent enough for video editing. You know what I mean? And kind of be resourceful and not spend as much money. So I'm trying to think the best way to do that. But that's what I'm thinking. Maybe some way to use an external GPU with a laptop that supports it, and then have maybe another screen, or just have that laptop. Anyway, I'm just throwing that your way.
I would say good luck, because I didn't know external GPUs were a thing either. But I've mostly given up on the laptop game for doing anything other than small things. I don't want to edit on a laptop. I don't want to really even game on a laptop. Because I've had a lot of laptops in my time, and I've beaten up a lot of laptops in my time. I used to churn through laptops, and I'm just kind of if I'm going to have a laptop, I want to be able to open it up, do maybe some web browsing, maybe watch a video, do some typing, whatever. But I don't want to do anything extensive on a laptop anymore. So I would say, if you can figure that out that works for you, then I'd go for it. But I have no idea what laptops are capable of, and external GPUs.
I share that feeling with you. I don't ever really want to touch a laptop again, but the context of it all is that, Steph and I both want to travel a lot, and we're going to have to be working while we travel. And my work, especially the more I dive into freelance, is all audio video. And I can't just have this kind of an average laptop for some of this intensive work that I do. That's the crossroads I'm having. Because like in my head, I'm thinking, well, what I could do is if I built some sort of miniature computer that I could then, like, maybe that it's small enough so that I could fit in a backpack or something, like a big backpack or something. That's just dangerous to do. But like a miniature computer, then I can like take it to a hotel, plug it into the TV. I'm just trying to think of all these scenarios where I could have a portable setup that's still powerful enough to be able to manage what I need to manage. I don't know. I'm just thinking.
You're gonna look into that, and you're like, okay, I need the backpack, I need the like portable GPU, you're gonna like get all this list of ingredients that you need to make this pie happen, and then you're gonna find out that you could have just bought the pie for the same price. Like, just buy like a super powerful laptop that could do all of that, but it's just a laptop. You're like, oh, but I was trying to save money. Then you're like, wait, but this needs this, and this needs that, and then that needs this.
I mean, trust me, man. I have thought about that, and I thought, I thought this too. I thought, I'm going to get all these pieces, and I'm going to go, God, I just built another PC.
And then you're still not going to want to put it in your backpack, and then you're not going to travel with it, and now you've got 2 PCs.
I know. So I'm really just trying to think about how that's going to go. Anyway, I don't know.
That's pretty funny, though.
It's tough because, it is. But because looking at those external GPUs, too, they're not cheap. Because, like, you can... some of them are just literally a normal, like, just like you can get like 2080, but like it's, but then they also but the casings, right? Like the casings for them need to be cooled. They need, there's a whole thing. And then like if a case is $300, well, crap. There you go. If I already have the video card, but that's still $300 if you get it already, with cooling in it and stuff. So I'm just throwing that out there. I was just curious what you're going to say because I don't know. I mean, the laptop would be the easiest for portability, but once again, it is kind of crazy though how far laptops have come since you and I have used them. I have a coworker who does very intensive work on their laptop, and they have whatever the new it's a sub name of I think Alienware. It's one of their people. It's like Alienware presents this laptop. I don't know what it's called, but it is, I can't remember the specs now, but it is literally like pretty decent PC full rig specs in a laptop. Now, I know the video cards are compromised because of size, but still, like, looking at those specs, I can't remember what they are, but they were really good. Like, it's crazy what they're able to pack in these things. And it wasn't that freaking heavy either. Like, it was big. But, I don't know, it's just wild. Even since we've had them, they've come a long way.
And at least if you're doing a bunch of extensive stuff, because the other thing that I'm usually worried about for laptops, but then if you do a bunch of editing and stuff, it doesn't really matter, is battery life. So like, so long as you're not just doing all that editing on the actual move, like on the train or an airplane or something. So if you're going to be sat down at a desk, like plugged in anyway, then I guess it doesn't matter.
Well, part of me also thinks about, I really want my freelance focus to continue to shift towards compositional work, which would basically mean as long as I have compositions made, I can mix and produce music without needing a lot of power. So that's a little different. If I already have music all recorded and I just need to mix it, that I can do really anywhere with kind of just a minimal setup.
With nothing but your cell phone and what's the cute little Adobe program you can get on your phone that's like free? Hang on.
What's it an editing program? Yeah,
it's what the frick is it called? It's like Adobe something. Adobe Express, I think, is what it is. You could just do all your editing on your phone with Adobe Express. There's no way that could go wrong.
Back in the Magics days, I remember this. I say that, everybody, because Wes and I basically switched programs at the same time. We're very close. And back in the Magics days, there was an app that you could get for Magics for editing. And I downloaded that just to say, hey, what the heck? Let me give it a shot. Who would want to edit that style, like in that style on a phone? Like they tried to give you the timeline editing experience on a phone. I mean, like it was optimized for a screen that small, but it's not going to be
unwieldy no matter what you do, though.
I mean, yeah. It's just, I don't know. I get frustrated editing a TikTok on a phone. I don't want to edit on a phone. I want to edit on a computer.
Yeah, I don't edit TikToks on the phone. I edit them on my video editor, and then I upload them either from TikTok on the browser, or I'll like move the file to my phone and upload it that way. But I don't edit on TikTok.
That's exactly what I do. Well, I've got I don't have her doing it. She wanted to do it, but Steph's in charge of all the like social media like stuff for the Two Piece podcast, and we're starting to make some shorts, and she's in charge of all that, which is great. That's fine with me because I don't get how that works. And she's doing all the editing on her phone. No, it's simple edits, right? It's not like what you and I do, but even that is just I got to drag my thumb because I've tried it before, right? And it's just you got to drag your thumb, and then like you miss it, and then you got to go back and try and cut it again. It's like no. No, it's not for us. It's not for people like us who edit how we edit. But ew, I do the same thing. I used to not even attempt, but I really still do what you do, which is basically if I am going to make a short, I'll usually cut it together on a computer if it requires cuts. If there's no cuts, then I'll just do it right on the phone. But if there are cuts, I'm doing it on a computer. I'll even add the captions in the text because Adobe's easy with adding captions now, and assuming it's accurate. And then I'll just upload it on browser. Because TikTok on browser, at least last time I used it for my day job, and it's pretty decent now. You can upload multiple videos at once and all that stuff, and schedule them.
Did you see TikTok on browser's got like an upload podcast feature?
Really?
So everyone listening to this,
no.
I may have figured it out by the time this episode comes out. This podcast might be available on TikTok. I don't know how or why that works. But apparently you can upload podcasts. Like they take your RSS feed and you can upload like whole podcast episodes up to 90 minutes to TikTok. Now, I've never seen a podcast on TikTok before, so I don't know where it goes or who's seeing it. But I just saw that the other day, and I haven't had enough time to experiment with it. So by the time this episode comes out, we might be on TikTok, baby. I mean,
TikTok,
we have a TikTok
podcasts.
Whole episodes.
That's brilliant. This is just another classic example of all of the platforms all copying each other, doing the same things. They're all wanting a piece of the pie, right? YouTube did it when they added shorts, and I don't blame anybody for doing it, if it, because obviously shorts are massively successful on YouTube, but TikTok, they keep making the videos longer and longer. Now they're getting podcasts on there. YouTube is doing podcasts now, like a separate podcast feed, apparently. I don't know how that works.
We're available on that.
But are we? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I took care of that.
Isn't that basically on the back end, because I do it for 2Ps, isn't that just putting it in, instead of a quote-unquote playlist, you put it in a podcast playlist or whatever?
Yes.
Or is there something else you have to do?
Because it was in a beta where they didn't actually have that like separate podcast feature yet. You had to do another weird thing. But they've introduced that, so you just upload as a podcast, and instead of just having a playlist and calling it a podcast, it's its own marked podcast thing. And if you do that, it'll show up on like the YouTube Music app, because there's podcasts on that app now, so people can listen to your podcast there, kind of like Spotify does, where it's got music and it's got podcasts. The YouTube Music app's got music and now it's got podcasts, so it's all there.
Okay, that's what I was curious about, was how it looks for the end user, because but I guess that makes sense. YouTube Music is a mystery to me. I've never touched it before.
Oh, I love it.
I have no idea what that looks like. Right. I'm sure, I bet you if I didn't hop on Spotify when I did, I would have been YouTube Music, because I use YouTube for everything already, so why not just use it for that too? So, because one thing I don't...
I was just going to say, I never got into Spotify. I use it for a couple of things, but like I just never got into using Spotify, and I get lost and confused over there.
I'm kind of in a weird... That's how I feel with YouTube Music, but I'm kind of in a weird place, because now that everybody puts their podcasts everywhere, I have this like first world problem issue where I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I do most of it on my commutes. So I usually do that on Spotify. But sometimes the podcasts are long, so I don't finish them on my commutes. Then I get home, and if I've got some free time, I'll finish watching it on YouTube, or like I'll want to watch it. Like, why not? If I have time to sit and watch, I might as well look at it instead. Well, guess what? It's on a different platform, so YouTube doesn't know that I've watched 46 minutes of this.
Right.
And No, I know the simple solution, Weston. I know the simple solution is, well, I've got YouTube Premium, so I can just always do it on YouTube.
Yes.
And just turn off my phone screen and just blast it through my car. But then I'm like, why am I spending $10 a month on Spotify? you know? Because I also use Spotify for music, but I use it for podcasts more. And I think if I quit doing the podcast on Spotify, I'd start to wonder why I'm spending $10 a month on Spotify.
Well, you might not have that problem forever if more people actually jump on board, because Spotify supports video, and has been for a little while. So there are some podcasts, very select few, that do a video version that they put on YouTube or whatever, they put on Spotify. So,
well, I've seen that, but isn't it just the big pods do it right now? I don't think it's not for everybody right now, right?
Well, for the most part, most people that are producing a podcast are producing a podcast because they don't want to produce a video show.
Right.
So most
right.
podcasts aren't doing it, and there are a few big ones that Spotify has sent money their way. We need people using this video feature so it can get used. So they're sponsoring it basically.
It is funny the trajectory of podcasts and how they're consumed and how they're made, because I think the appeal for everybody at first, it was it's basically a pre-recorded radio show style kind of thing, and you can just listen to it anywhere you want. And now video versions of podcasts are so massively popular. It's basically kind of like what you just said. They're just becoming video shows. I don't know. It seems that way. I know a lot of podcasts I listen to, they're catered towards video. And there's one in particular I listen to that wasn't originally, it's a small podcast, but it was, or smaller, but it wasn't originally catered to video, but the video got so successful that now they do a lot of visual related things on the podcast, and now I feel like I'm missing out. It's weird how it's evolved very quickly into basically just more video content.
Well, especially where if you're going to do a podcast and you're going to have a video component, you still, if you're a host, you definitely need to keep treating it like it's audio only so that you can keep everyone in the loop. Because I'm right there with you. If I'm on my commute on the drive to work or wherever, I can't watch the video. I cannot do it. I am driving. So if you have video components that are only interesting if I can see it, your podcast has just become useless to me. I'm listening to you because I'm driving. So,
right. It should always be dialogue forward. And that, I completely agree. Because that's, for me, and maybe I'd like to see the stats on this. I am curious if it's maybe leaning more one way or the other, what Americans, or I guess anybody around the world, prefers more than the other. I don't know if there's been any studies on that. I'm sure there are stats you can find, but I have a feeling it probably leans more towards video at this point. But for me, I still prefer just to listen. Because I'll do it when I'm cleaning and stuff too, and I'll put in my headphones, and I think we talked about that kind of recently. I'll just always throw it on. So it's nice. So every once in a while when I listen to a podcast, and they just do a quick little thing and just go, I can't even think of a good example. It's not super visual, but there's a component in there where if you saw it, you would enjoy it a little bit more, whatever it may be. Maybe they're referencing something they're holding in their hands or something, right?
Right.
It's then I think it's a little bit of that FOMO.
Well, and I will say little things like that have been around forever, though, because even on radio shows or older podcasts before the video component was even possible, blah, 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 people often shot podcasts in the same room together. They could see each other. They could reference what they could see in real life. But they just needed to be capable of describing that for the listener well enough that you know what's going on.
Well, I'm still blaming videos because I wouldn't even feel left out if I didn't know that videos existed. you know? But I mean, I know what you're saying, right? There's always been some element, a little bit, just because they're feeding off of each other in a room. But yeah, just the fact that it's there and there's a video that I know that I can be watching, I don't know. For me, I'm still stubborn. I stick with my audio, but 9 times out of 10, it's fine. Just every once in a while, it's I don't know. I feel like I should be watching it, but that could be me putting pressure on myself.
It could be. I know there's a lot of stuff,
I do
even not podcasts, just straight up videos that, like you said, if you're cleaning or whatever, if I'm doing chores, I'll put on like YouTube videos and I'll listen to them.
Yeah.
And the video's technically running, but I'm not watching. And there's technically stuff happening on like screen that you have to see to understand, but I just need the white noise, so I don't even care.
Well, it's funny because I've always kind of joked about this. No, I haven't really seen them in a long time, but when I used to watch like Game Grumps and stuff,
yeah,
so many of their long playthroughs, I'm assuming they're still the same, if they still do long playthroughs, but like back in the day, they would do a playthrough of a game, and it's so little about the game that you could do it with stuff like that content too. You know, it's more about their comedy and their chemistry and their relationship and dynamic that you can just listen to that. You don't even really need to see the game.
They're just back and forth, and they're like stories that they just tell while they're like mindlessly playing some game that, like, you know, they got to do some grinding or something. Like their Zelda playthroughs, or they had a Sonic playthrough here lately that, like, what was that? What was the recent Sonic game that came out that's like open world and just kind of like it looks like garbage? But anyway, I was listening to them play that game, and there's just so little to see on screen or to care about on screen that you're like, I'll just put this on in the background and see what they get up to, and then if they get excited, then I can peek over and see what's going on.
Yeah, you're not really missing much. I remember I had that realization one time. This was once again way back when Game Grumps were like getting bigger and bigger, and I don't know what playthrough I was watching. It probably was some sort of Nintendo playthrough, Zelda or Mario or something. I don't know what it was. But anyway, I just remember like getting distracted and doing something, but still listening to it on my TV. And then I stopped and I went back to my couch and because I did it on my TV, and I wanted to rewind the video like 10 minutes. And then I felt like an idiot because I thought, I just heard everything they said, and they're just like walking in a straight line.
Yeah, they're not doing anything. Yeah.
You know, that was my pivotal moment. I thought, no, I can just listen to this. It's fine. But like I felt, once again, maybe I'm learning right now that this is a me problem.
Would you ever do that where you start watching a YouTube video and you don't, like, it's on your phone, right? And you don't realize that, oh, my phone's mute. So like you got like 3 seconds into the video before you got the sound on, and so you rewind the first 3 seconds of the video, and then you're like, why did I do that? There's nothing of any value happening in the first 3 seconds of a video. Right? Like it's nothing. It's like someone's introducing the hello, welcome back to, or whatever. It's like you missed nothing, but you rewind anyway. That's me.
Yeah. There's no, I've done that too. There's no possible way there's going to be crucial information in those first 3 seconds. There's no way.
Maybe on a TikTok, but not on a long form YouTube video.
Exactly. I was thinking on a TikTok they could do something, but usually on TikToks in the first 3 seconds, all it is something to get your attention. It's nothing really important. It's just quick movements or you know what? I mean, you know the game. You know how that goes.
Oh yeah. Because TikTok's a different game. If you can't capture my attention in half a second, then I've already moved on.
Whew, that time frame's getting shorter and shorter, man.
It's real bad.
Half a second. You're not wrong though. There's a lot of competition.
I actually don't watch a lot of TikTok anymore because, well, one, I had to mute notifications and like put TikTok into deep sleep on my phone because it was running even when I wasn't using it, and it was just draining my battery on my phone to like it would be dead in 3 hours. So I was like, this just isn't acceptable. So I basically put it in sleep, and if I want to get on TikTok, I can get on TikTok separately. Fine. But as a result, I'm rarely on TikTok. I'm on YouTube Shorts more often. And the Shorts game is very strange. I don't know what's new in the algorithm. I use it the same way I do TikTok, right? Where if you don't capture my attention right away, I'm swiping to the next video. But I'm seeing like a sudden influx of all these kids that must have access to uploading shorts, right? Because it's so easy. You just have the app, you just hit the like record, and you just upload a short. Where it'll be a video of some kid, just clearly some kid. They're not on camera, but they're just like taking a video of their like cat or whatever. Like just a random, like some kid's gotten hold of a phone and taken a short and uploaded it. Like maybe all of like 0 likes, 0 comments, one of those videos. And because they're not edited, because they're not made by an adult, they're not edited, they're not made to capture attention right away. It's just some random home video some kids taken. They usually make me like wait like 2 seconds before my brain like picks up what's going on screen. So now the YouTube algorithm's like, oh wait, you're really into these videos. And so now I'm getting like YouTube shorts from like 4-year-olds taking videos of their house. And I'm like, no, I don't want this. Get off my shorts.
Oh, that's actually really funny. It is crazy how quickly. Now I quit using TikTok quite a while ago, but I don't know about YouTube Shorts because I've never really messed around with watching shorts, but I know all the algorithms are similar in terms of their aggression of giving you stuff that it thinks you want.
Right.
It's crazy how quickly you can pivot that direction on TikTok, or at least it used to be.
TikTok's like
it's
wild.
You can totally update your algorithm for your taste within a matter of like 30 TikToks, which is not that long.
No.
It's ridiculous. Like I experimented with that once, and I just typed in, I can't remember what it was now, but something game related. And I like a particular game, but I like searched it, and then I watched a couple of videos about it, and then I watched a few more, and I maybe like hearted a couple just to try. And then I'm back to my For You page, refreshed it, and it's all about that game. Then a few about the other thing I liked before or whatever. It's wild how aggressive these algorithms are in terms of catering things to keep you on the platform. It's nuts.
Because YouTube's gotten better about that too. YouTube Shorts gotten better where you can pivot your content better. I still need to get off the 4-year-old kid shorts, whatever that is. But I had an issue a while back. I was complaining to my brother about it, and it's fixed itself now, where I was just getting all these freaking YouTube shorts that were like Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan, just like, I don't care. Yeah. All this like sort of intellectual or pseudo-intellectual talk show, just whatever that crowd is, I'm just not interested in. And I just kept getting it. I'm like, I can't swipe fast enough to get this off my feed. Please leave me alone.
Right.
And then as soon as I find anything that's like not related to that, I'm like, okay, I have to watch this video all the way through like 4 times so that YouTube knows more of this, please.
Yes, I know exactly. Yeah. That's a weird dynamic that I've talked to you about briefly.
D&D jokes only, please. Thank you. Okay.
how we weirdly consume our like mobile content now.
Yeah.
Like, we're not just watching things to enjoy, we're trying to
train the algorithm to our tastes.
Isn't that weird? That's weird. I know we're not the only guys that do it. A lot of people do it.
Yeah,
not everyone does. But
super meta.
It is super meta. But hey, speaking of meta, Weston, do you have any gadgets or knickknacks or doodads that you'd like to talk about for like 3 minutes?
I've got a smartwatch. I've got my smartphone.
Okay.
Gadgets. I don't have
any sort of knickknack, doodad, any little thing. It doesn't have to be like electronic. Like, it could be like, did you ever get into the fidget spinner game?
Oh God, no. I don't have like OCD or whatever you have to have. I don't have any of that. I never understood it.
You have to have OCD to like a fidget spinner. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying here right now?
whatever the tick is that you have to have, or you have to constantly fidget things. I don't have that, so I don't. I don't collect anything. I don't have like toys I play with, and by toys I mean like fidget spinners or whatever, not like literal action figures. No shame to anybody that does, but I'm like looking around my room right now for anything that could be construed as gadgets, and I've got like soaps and toothpastes and shampoos. Why is everything in my room what you'd expect to have in a bathroom?
You just made this realization.
I've got a roll of duct tape. I've got a razor that I don't use anymore. I've got a glass mug with some candy in it. I got candy.
Well, that's not really a knickknack or a doodad or anything.
I have a chain.
How about this?
Oh, I've got a pocket watch with a chain on it.
Pocket watch? That's interesting.
I guarantee you it doesn't work anymore. It probably needs its battery changed, but...
Is it an old pocket watch, or is it like a new pocket watch?
It's old.
You know what I mean? Like, is it like the...
It came from my grandparents' house when we moved them out, so I don't know where they got it, but it would have been like either theirs or something they picked up. They were kind of hoarders, so Lord knows if they owned it or just found it.
All right. I was asking about knickknacks and doodads and all that because of what our next segment's going to be, and I'll announce that in a few moments. You know what it is already, but what about as a kid? I'm asking you this because when I was a kid, I had little PDAs.
Oh, I did have a PDA as a kid.
Okay, tell me what you remember about it. You remember anything about it?
Not really. I don't remember what I even used it for because, like, it's so... This was back in, like, I don't know, 2006 or something. I don't know. This was 15 years ago or more or whatever it was. And it wasn't... smartphone technology didn't exist, so it was just, like, you had a little keyboard on it. I think I had a stylus. I think you could put stuff in a calendar on it and make notes. I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember I had a SpongeBob-themed one. Which is just a sign of the age that I was. I think I was literally I think I was 10, and it was maroon, and it had SpongeBob's face on the front of it. And then I don't know why it wasn't yellow. I think that was a missed opportunity.
What I was about to say.
But anyway, yeah, it was maroon. Then this whole body was on the front of it. I think it was I don't know. It was like a special edition of like a particular kind of PDA or something. So it was just like they put SpongeBob on it.
Mine was just black.
So I just remember did yours have a thing? Maybe they all had it. Like you flip it open, right?
Yeah, it had like a cover that you opened up.
Like a cover that you'd flip open. And yeah, I remember loving that thing, but I don't remember what I did on it either. I mean, what could you do? I think there was a couple small games on mine, like tiny little games, like breakout kind of style games. But that's really about it. But I don't know if you remember this. I used to keep a bunch of doodads. I don't know what I call them, knicks, whatever. In like always on display. I don't know if you remember this, but I used to always have like a Rubik's Cube. I had like a weird lava lamp thing, but it wasn't actually lava. Obviously it's not ever lava.
Right.
Hold on.
You didn't have to explain
Let me explain.
Everyone at home, did you know lava lamps? Not actually lava.
Let me try that again. It wasn't actually like plugged in like an actual lava lamp. It was just like a manual thing with like gooey stuff in it.
It was a
But anyway, do you remember
thing.
any of those things
I know.
in
I
my
actually know
basement?
exactly what you're talking about now. Yeah, because you'd turn it like upside down, it would like goop through.
Yeah, I always had that up always for my friends to play with because somebody always would come play with it. I was looking back thinking about this, and I used to have a bunch of little knickknacks and things.
Do you remember your old pool table, the tiny little pool table that I took from you?
Oh yeah. I don't remember you taking it from me.
Yeah, you gave it to me. It's another one of those random things you didn't want. So you're like, do you want
I give
this?
you all my crap.
And I was like, yeah, sure.
Do you still have it?
I didn't get rid of it, I don't think, but I don't know where it would be. In a box or something.
Dude, that is freaking hilarious. I've given you so many things. I think it was red. I think it was a red pool table. And it was literally the size of like, I don't know. It was very small.
Like half of a shoebox or something.
Yeah, that's a good, half of a shoebox. That's funny. I do remember that. Well, the thing I was thinking about that brought me to do this episode today was I had a little device called a Q20. I think it was
I had one of those too.
And it was 20 questions, but basically with the little computer in your hand. It was like a little spherical thing, and
it was called 20Q. You were so close.
20Q.
Because it's 20 questions, 20Q. You were so close.
I was. Mine was like a translucent color, to my knowledge, and which a lot of electronics were kind of translucent at the time. That was like a thing. And I love that. I used to do that all the time on car trips. Could it? So I know, could you you could play it both ways, right? Or am I having a complete stupid right now? I know that
it would come up with a thing and then you would guess? No, I'm pretty sure you always came up with a thing and it would ask questions. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. You're probably right, because I don't really know how the other way would.
I don't know how the other way would work.
Have because you had no way to type things in or anything.
No, it was just the buttons you had were because they had buttons on it, like physical buttons, and it was like yes, no, sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I do know that it was extremely. I mean, I tricked it, I think, once or twice, but it was usually pretty good.
It had a pretty good library of things.
So, but the reason why I wanted to talk about that, Weston, is because you and I are going to be playing 20 questions in our upcoming segment. Do you have a good item ready to give me? Well, you got about 60 seconds to figure it out.
Oh, I've got a subject. You asked if I had a good one.
All right, well, I guess we'll see how this goes. We'll be right back, folks. Profoundish is brought to you in part by Alex Duquette Medleys. I make theme song medleys, which is where I take a bunch of theme songs and mash them up into one bite-sized song. From Nickelodeon to Adult Swim, I cover it all. So, if you want to take a fun nostalgic trip, search my name, Alex Duquette, on YouTube, or go to alexduquette.net.
Profoundish is brought to you in part by Magic Man Mo, a gaming YouTube channel run by me. We stream and we do variety Let's Plays. Check out a short stream compilation to see if it's something that you're going to be into. It's a lot of fun. I made it, so I know. That's Magic Man Mo on YouTube.
All right. We're back. We're playing 20 questions. I did let Weston know ahead of time so he could think of something. And I specifically sent you a message.
You did.
And I said, make it tough. Make it tough.
You know what's funny,
So
too,
we'll
when
see
you
if it's
mentioned
tough.
the 20 cue ball, I completely forgot that that's what we were doing for the segment was 20 questions. So that was legit when I was like, oh, yeah, I had one of those. As if I had no idea that we were doing 20 Q in like 2 minutes.
That's hilarious because your reaction was very, like, it seemed very, like, yeah, a lot of passion in that.
Because it was not a thought in my brain.
real.
I'm like, I remember those. 20 questions was a fun game to play. I haven't done that in a long time. Not a thought in my brain.
So, oh, that's hilarious to me. Well, you did, well, it worked out. Okay, so if you're unfamiliar with 20 questions, dear listener, it's pretty simple. It's just, we're going to take turns asking. We both have an item in our heads or a place. I said a place or an item, so it could be a place. And basically, we have to ask the other person yes or no questions to basically keep honing in on what the object that they're or place that they're thinking of is. And you have to do it within 20 questions. If you don't, you lose. So that's kind of the idea. I don't know who wants to go first. I'm excited to do this again because we did it during Christmas last year, and I really had a good time, so I thought it'd be fun to do it again. So, do we want to flip a coin?
We can flip a coin. I can flip this sauce packet, and you can call it heads or tails.
All right. Heads will be the logo of the packet, and I will be heads. I will go first if it...
I threw it to the sky, and it fell behind me. I'm turning around right now in my chair.
Okay.
You said you called heads?
Yes.
It's tails.
All right.
It's a sauce.
So does that mean you're going first, or do you get to choose?
I don't know. What did we decide? What did we decide?
You go first.
I go
All
first.
Right, you're going to go first.
What does that mean? It's my subject first, or I'm asking questions first?
That means I'm going to be guessing first, I guess.
Oh, okay.
We did not communicate this well at all.
Trust me, flipping this sauce packet didn't do anything.
Yeah, none of this was helpful. Okay, so I'll guess your items or your thing first.
Yes, my items. Right. I have 4. I will be switching between them between your questions. You have no idea what's going on.
This is terrible. I'm going to go ahead and get started here, and I encourage you, if you're listening, to play along, see if you can figure it out, because who knows, you might be able to figure it out. And it's like, Alex, you idiot, why didn't you think of this?
Alex, you idiot.
Or vice versa. Maybe I'll get it right, and I'll go, listener, you're an idiot. Why didn't you think about this?
It was obviously a who's it, what's it, not a it's it, wits it.
Right. Or a thingamabob. Okay.
Yeah.
Weston.
What's up?
I guess I'll start with the obvious. Is this a thing?
No.
Versus it being a place. Oh. I feel like I don't want to waste this question, but I'm assuming it's a place. I'm just going to make the assumption that it's a place. Because really, it was either a thing or a place. That's all we could agree on. Or that's all not that we argued about anything. That's all that we said we would do.
Because it's funny that you said, is it a thing? And I was remembering the old 20Q game where I think you could literally do, like, is it a thing? And if it said no, it's like it could literally be a concept, like nothing or democracy or, something like that. Like concepts were an option.
That had a huge library of stuff in it.
Yeah.
It really did. Okay. So is this a place where is this a place where people shop?
No.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
After every question.
All right. All right.
Noted.
Let's see.
In my notebook.
Is this... Okay, how about this? I'm going to generalize it. Is this a place for the public? Like just public people, pedestrians?
Yes.
Okay. Is this place outdoors?
Yes.
Now, I want to clarify with you for a second here. Now, anything could technically be outdoors. Like a Lowe's can be outdoors.
Is this place within our universe? Yes. Oh, that narrows it down.
That'd be like a hilarious video, like the world's worst 20 questions asker.
The questions are so wildly out of left field.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Does it take place in this universe? That's hilarious to me.
If the object could smell like anything under the sun, would it be the moon?
If it could smell like anything under the sun, would it? Yes.
I don't know.
But if you could, I don't know if that's cheating. Could you clarify that? Like,
is that one of your questions?
When I asked if it was, no.
Could you clarify that? Yes.
I'm going to assume
that's a question.
I'm just going to, I think, once again, make the assumption that it's kind of more of an outdoor place.
Just think about it this way. When you played the old 20 cue ball, you couldn't ask it to clarify nothing.
You know what, Weston?
You know?
Okay, you're right.
Yeah. You're darn right I'm right.
Because you could have answered very vaguely here, so I'm going to ask it. You're going to get me to probably waste a question, but here I go. Is this place in a building?
No.
Okay. Well, buildings are outdoors. All right, so...
That was question number 5 for everybody keeping track at home.
5. Okay, so is this place? Oh, is this place considered? I don't know. That's not too much opinion in that. Hold on.
Is this place considered the dirty red commies?
All right. Does this place have any recreational element?
No.
Okay. So it's public and it's outdoors. Not really anything recreational. Is this place considered scenic?
I'm going to have to call in the sometimes on that one.
Okay.
It's definitely the rarer answer to have to say sometimes, and often less helpful, but I'm going to have to call it in. I'm going to have to call in the sometimes on that one.
Okay. I don't know. Is this place equally accessible all 4 seasons?
Yes.
Okay. Where could we go from here? It's you don't buy anything there. It's not really recreational. Oh boy, this is when we need the
the 20 cue ball to do all the work. Oh, the music.
I need the 20 cue ball to do this for me.
I've been playing some jazz in my headphones.
I might start doing that.
Like,
by the way, having some music in the background, you always do that. Is what you say.
That's like my version of OCD. We were talking about like fidget spinners or whatever. I have to have like white noise constantly to feed my brain. I think I've developed an issue. Like I'm normally completely okay being in dead silence. That doesn't bother me. I don't like get uncomfortable in silence, but like I'm always playing something.
God, I don't even know what else is out. Is this place used? Is this place primarily used? Is this place used for transportation?
No.
Like, is transportation involved in this place? Okay.
No. Is this place used?
Is this once again? That goes back to our joke. Does this place have any use? Well, I guess.
Does this place come new or used?
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Here, let me go this route.
Is this a refurbished place?
Okay, how about this? Is this place very common, meaning you can find it in many places?
Yes. And that was question number 10 for everybody at home.
Oh boy, okay.
Halfway there. Wow!
Is this place found? Is this place found only in cities?
No.
I don't know if I was too specific, because what if it's towns? Okay, it's not found only in cities. I think.
Is this place found in cities?
Public,
is it found in towns? Is it found in villages? Is it found in?
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Townships.
I'm gonna say this place you can just find anywhere.
Is this place within a district inside my mind?
Okay. Okay. You keep saying what you want to say. I think I have another question. Is this place funded at all by a local government or, I'll just say that, by like a local establishment or government?
I'm going to say yes. That's one where I kind of want to say sometimes, but I think it's probably leaning more towards the mostly or usually. So I was going to say yes.
So usually it's funded by like a local government or something like that, or something along those lines. Usually, okay? But it's not recreational. You wouldn't always say it's scenic, so it's not like a park. I don't know how specific you went. It's not used for transportation. You can't buy things. God, is this place real? Don't answer that. It's not a question. Gosh, man. Oh, okay. Have you, Weston?
Yeah.
Been to this place in the last week?
No.
I don't know if that was going to be helpful at all.
I don't know if you know where I've been in the last week, but
right.
Actually, it kind of looks like you asked about it being funded by government. It looks like it's actually usually privately funded. So I'm going to go back to say sometimes on that. It can be private or government funded. Just as a clarification on that. That was a good question that I didn't have, that I wasn't for sure on.
Okay. So it's privately funded. Okay. Wait a second.
It's kind of
public, though.
Yeah.
Because I was about to ask a question that probably wouldn't have made sense.
That was a good question.
Okay. Is this... Is this a place where also people can live? Like, are there homes located in this place?
No.
You said no, interestingly. Okay.
Yeah, it's like no asterisk. But historically, you could.
Oh, my God.
But I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Because you're in 20 questions, you're not supposed to be able to give elaborate answers. It's like yes, no, sometimes,
right.
maybe. It's like it's supposed to be super simple. So it's kind of hard, but I'm going to say no on that one. Because if I said anything else, I think it would be confusing.
Oh, God, I'm not doing hot here. You did pick something good.
You're picking some good questions, too, where I'm like, maybe I don't know as much about my own subject matter as I believed.
This is quite the match here. Okay, how about this? Is this place... I don't know if I want to ask this. Okay.
Look deep inside yourself.
Is this place... is this place bigger than a football field?
That I'm going to have to say sometimes. And that was question number 15, everybody. He's got 5 left.
It's not for transportation. Because at first I was thinking, when I asked about the living thing, I thought you could be thinking of just like an HOA neighborhood or something. You know, like that could be a place. And it's some of those aren't public, though, so maybe it couldn't be.
Gated community.
I mean, honestly, I feel like that'd be that could be kind of tough.
That's why when you asked if there are homes in it, I'm like, no, but there are cases where yes, but no. I would say no. Don't focus on that because no.
Okay. Gosh, privately funded. Oh, does this place have an entry fee?
No.
Usually privately funded, public access, free to get into, or free to go to. This makes me wonder, I'm feeling like, and I've been feeling this for a while, it's less of a place you go to, and it's just kind of a thing. It's just kind of there. And
I'm still trying to desperately make sure I'm not sure how funding works for this. Okay. I'm like,
well, I guess I'll know soon.
I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, this is complicated.
Interesting. Okay. I don't know what other purpose it have. It's not scenic, or you said you said it can sometimes be scenic.
I also think that might also be someone's opinion of scenic. I think this location can be really pretty in the right context, but then other times it just depends.
Okay.
So
that doesn't help me.
Yeah. That doesn't help me at all. Weston in your
God, man, I don't know. Okay. Is this place... You said, okay, it's accessed, it's public, anyone can go be in this place. Is this place, traditionally speaking, busy with lots of people?
No.
Oh, God, okay. It's not busy. So you said, okay, the way you talked about seeing it as pretty or scenic, sounded like this is kind of just it's kind of like an ordinary place that you don't really think twice about. Now, that's what I'm starting to feel like, but then some people will find the beauty in it. But that's why I thought of transportation, because I thought, it just could be some way to get from point A to point B
local
or
bus
something.
Stop.
But, it's pretty.
The graffiti's real nice.
Well, I was thinking about graffiti earlier.
You're gonna kind of kick yourself for this because I think you kind of said it earlier, where it's you probably wouldn't even think twice about this place.
Okay.
You would, but you wouldn't.
Okay, so once again, it's public. I'm going to say this. You're probably right. I'm still going to ask it, though, because I'm just going to throw it out there. When somebody enters this place, is it traditionally for a particular reason? Like, it's...
I'd say yes.
There, like, they're there... Okay.
You got 2 left. 2 left, big guy.
I know. This is going to sound crazy, but I never asked it, and I don't think I'm going to get it, so I'm just going to ask. Is this place, like, completely open? Meaning there's not really any, like, things that close it off. It's just kind of an open place.
Yeah.
Okay. Should have asked that earlier. I forgot about that one.
There are instances,
I'm gonna have...
like for anyone listening at home that may have got this, there are instances where not, like, no, but also, But I'm going to say, yeah, it's just open.
Okay.
People at home, yeah, there are examples where it's not so much, but...
I'm sure it's right under my nose. I'm so lost still that I'm just going to have to just throw a guess at this point.
Yeah, one more question.
I know, but...
One more question. You can do it! Dig deep!
No, I can't!
You can do it!
Let's see. Let me think. Some people can find the beauty in this, whatever this is. But it's a place that people go usually for a purpose. Because first I thought it was just, okay, it's a come and go place. It's like it's the middle ground to get to another place. But now I don't feel like it's that.
It's the median in the middle of the road on an avenue. the little green stretch.
That'd be, oh my God, that's a tough one. All right. Do I have one more guess and then I can guess what it is, or is
Correct.
This is it? I can't remember.
Yeah, you get 20 questions and then
okay.
you get to guess what the thing is. So you got one more question and then you get to guess.
Does this place come with a particular smell traditionally?
No.
Dang. Okay.
My sense of smell is
I'm gonna just
notoriously terrible, but I don't think so. No.
So I was going down. I was thinking it. I'm just going to guess now. When I asked smell, I thought maybe it's something like an alleyway. So I guess that's my guess. Is it an alleyway?
It is not.
Okay. I was all over the place. What is this, Weston?
Do you have a second guess? What if I gave you a clue? What if I gave you a clue that it's themed with the month? We're in October right now.
It's themed with the month.
Yeah, we're in October. It's spooky season.
Wait a second. Okay, I got to guess.
Okay.
Is it a pumpkin patch?
No. It's a...
You just have to say it. It's okay.
It's a cemetery.
Oh my gosh. That's a good one, Weston.
A cemetery. There are instances where, like, they can be, like, fenced or walled off, so they can be kind of not open, but they're usually typically very open. They can be really small cemeteries that you find in the middle of nowhere, or really big cemeteries you find in the middle of a city, or anything in between. People kind of go there for one purpose, usually to bury someone or visit someone. Not usually busy because people come and then they go.
Yeah, you're right. That's great. I was nowhere close. I was thinking about. I couldn't get like the really specific like sidewalk. Like really like this kind of stuff like that. I couldn't get that out of my head. I was thinking
really nitty gritty. Like you were thinking like alleyways. Like you were thinking like really down to just concepts of places where it's like cemetery.
Because I thought you were gonna do that, but like I wouldn't put that past you. But cemetery, you stupid. You got me.
The funding is interesting. They're, I guess, often funded by grants, private organizations. Some have some government responsibility. It's really just dependent on where the cemetery is, apparently.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that if someone asked me, do you know how cemeteries are funded? I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, because you said that. I'm like, I think they're all funded by government.
An interesting one.
And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, well, no, because there are private cemeteries. And then I started Googling. I'm like, oh, I have no idea how these are funded.
Right. Okay. Well, Weston, let's see if you can defeat me before the 20 questions.
Oh,
let's see if you've got what it takes.
I'm going to do it.
All right. Well, I'm ready when you are, friend.
Is it a place?
No.
Is it bigger than a toaster?
Yes.
Is it bigger than a refrigerator?
No.
All right. Is it electronic?
No.
Okay. So somewhere between a toaster and a refrigerator, non-electronic object. Off to a riveting start right now. Would you find it inside a home?
Yeah. Yes. You know what? I have to give you a longer answer for this one. I'm going to say yes, but I think traditionally, no. So yes.
But no.
But yes, but no. Yeah. So I guess I'm going to say sometimes.
That
Was it your fifth or fourth?
That was my
Just so
fifth.
I'm on track.
I know I spat them out fast.
You did.
It's like that GIF or that meme of that like pirate guy. Yes, but actually no.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I'm talking about. Traditionally,
I do,
not inside the home, but is inside the home. So I'm kind of thinking like maybe something kind of like maybe possibly. I'm thinking maybe possibly decorative. Interesting. I guess I could go with that. Like, is it primarily decorative?
No.
Okay. That kind of insinuates, without asking, that it's probably useful in some way, at least serves some kind of function. But it's not electronic. I guess it could conceivably be a tool of some kind as well, but I can't think of a tool that you keep inside that's like typically outside, unless because I said inside the home, not like inside a garage could be part of the home, but like I'm thinking like it's probably not like a lawnmower, like a push mower, since it's smaller than a refrigerator. It still could be though. Because if you're thinking, I don't know if you're thinking like garages are part of the home, but it might not have anything to do with a garage. Is it actually? Yeah, I'll go with. Is it metallic? Or maybe the better way to ask that is, does it have metallic components? Metal.
No. No. Technically it can, but most times no. So I'm just going to tell you no.
Okay. So not really metallic. So it could be like more like wood or cloth or something along those lines. Maybe it's something with nails in it or something, but not like it's not metallic. I'm wondering if it's got surfaces. Like if it's like a chair or something, then like it would have a surface. If it's like a counter of some kind, it'd have a surface. But I'm thinking of what would not be like
excited about this.
Traditionally outside. Or not traditionally inside, it's like traditionally outside. Well, I guess actually if it's a chair, a rocking chair would be traditionally like on the porch, but you could find it inside. Okay. Is it within the chair family?
No.
Oh. Because a rocking chair would have been really good.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't say those are bigger than a refrigerator, so it's still well within the size.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you one thing.
Yeah.
Just one very small
Sure.
thing. Think about the home question a little bit.
I
answered it exactly to how you asked it.
I forget exactly how I asked it. I think I asked it like, is it in the home or can it be found in the home? So I asked something like that. Because like my gut instinct was like I could start asking about like what rooms you'd find it in, but then the whole traditionally not, or like the kind of like the outside component means like maybe me knowing which room it could be in won't really help. But maybe.
Well, I will say I didn't say. Never mind. Nope, I don't want to give you too much. I just want you to think about that question a little bit more.
I could ask about. I'm trying to think what you would find in the home, both indoors or outdoors, or at least wouldn't be weird in either way. And it's not decorative. We discussed it's not decorative. So I'm thinking, or I guess even like, oh heck, actually something like a house plant or something, right? Like I maybe should ask if it's living or not, just to get that out of the way. Is this object living?
It is not.
Okay. Because we used to keep all kinds of houseplants in our dining room, in my old house, in my family, in my childhood home, and they were pretty big. They were definitely bigger than a toaster, but they weren't refrigerator big. But obviously, plants traditionally you find outside, so it's kind of like I don't know.
Right.
I think I am going to go back to the surface thing. Does this object primarily consist of flat surfaces?
The way you're asking it, I'm going to have to tell you no.
Okay.
So that's 10 right there.
Yes. I'm halfway there. Wow.
So
I haven't got a
yeah, I'm gonna tell you. It's certainly got flat. Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you no.
I'm gonna tell you no. You're dumb and you should feel dumb.
I'm so excited about this. I was so.
I'm almost tempted to go my route and ask you if it's seasonal. But, kind of like I was thinking like I was thinking spooky when I did cemetery. But if I ask you if it's seasonal, that's not really like the same way you could use a cemetery during any season. It's like, well, the object itself could be used anytime, I'm sure.
Right.
Probably. It's not electronic. It's not like a vacuum or something. Would you find this object in the kitchen primarily?
No.
Okay. I'm wondering if I should ask about the weight, like how heavy it might be.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But I'm trying to decide like what weight to shoot for. If this is a very heavy object or a light object. Does this thing typically weigh more than a heavy backpack?
A heavy backpack? Probably not. No, I think it'd be a little bit lighter.
So no. Probably about comparable to a heavy backpack. A little lighter, but it's not like I'm going to say it's probably not light. It's not like a massive quilt, probably. Is what I'm thinking.
You know what? So you were considering a massive quilt light in that scenario?
Oh, quilts aren't heavy. It's not like your weighted blanket, which is like 30 billion pounds. That's as heavy as a heavy backpack.
Now that I think about how heavy a backpack is, I'm going to say it is not even close. I'm going to say no, it is not as heavy as a backpack. It's much lighter.
Okay. So that, oops, I put my fingers down. I don't know what question I'm on. I'm going to say, actually, I'll go ahead and lean that way. Is it made of fabric?
It is not.
I was trying to decide between saying fabric or cloth.
Were you counting? Are we at 13 now?
I moved my hands and I don't remember what I'm at, but 13 sounds about right.
I think that was 13.
I almost want to ask, is this something that people would typically get for their birthday? But I don't, that's like so out of right field.
You know what? Hey, I'll ask that question and I'll give you an answer as a hint because you're way off base right now. My answer will be your hint. So ask me that question.
Is this an object that you would get for your birthday?
Me? Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Me?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Is the object musical in nature?
Yes. That's a very generic yes. You got 5 left. Was that an with a question?
It's something that you would get for your birthday. It's not so like it's a generic yes for its musical nature, which makes me think it's not like literally a guitar, probably, because that would just be it's musical. But it's also a generic yes. It's not a no. So it's not like, oh, it's a giant wooden box, and yes, you can bang on it, I guess. Because that would be like, no, it's not musical in nature. It's you can hit anything. Mayonnaise can be an instrument in the right context.
Yeah, I guess anything could be, yeah. I think you know how I answered your question, though. I think I know how you were asking it. Like, it's...
Right.
It pertains to something musical or is musical, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's in that
because it's also
field.
not electronic. And I just keep coming up with things that are like electronic. Like, oh, is it a soundboard? Or, like stuff like that. And I'm like, well, that's like electronic. Or like would have metallic components to it, which you said like no to. At least primarily no to. So
primarily no. Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's like either wood or... Because I think I already asked if it's fabric, and it's not fabric. So I'm thinking it's wood or some kind of like plastic maybe even, but like it's... And the generic yes, it's not like a xylophone. Well, xylophones are like metal.
I mean, you haven't asked.
Well, xylophones I think are made out of metal. Well, no, you can get like wood ones, I guess.
But they can't have like.
But then I feel like the
metal like foundation or whatever.
I guess the thing I guess I could ask if it's percussive in nature. But also,
oh boy,
huh?
Nothing.
Am I striving further and further away from from God here? We're going down the wrong path. Is that what's happening right now?
I've already said too much.
Maybe I need to narrow down. It's that's right. It was like lighter than a backpack, than a heavy backpack. So it's not very heavy. Is it meant to be? I'm in between. I want to say, is it meant to be carried or is it meant to be worn? Is what I'm kind of in between. Is it meant to be carried?
You would ask that question.
I would.
I can't give you a yes or no here. It can be carried.
Well, let's see. I said, is it meant to be?
But it's right. It's not. It can be carried, and I'm going to give you a long answer. I know it needs to be short, but you're kind of somewhere in the ballpark now. But it can be carried, and in fact, and sometimes it's supposed to be. But it's not meant to be carried. That's not its primary function. I gave you a lot there.
I've got an idea, and it's so random. Is it
Okay.
I want to do the size again. Is it smaller than roughly I want to say 3 toasters? Is it smaller than 3 toasters?
No.
Okay, I was going the wrong way then. What do I got? 2 questions left?
You got 3 left.
3 left, okay.
I will
You will what?
well, okay, never mind. I was going to say I think we've done this before and you rejected it. So if you don't want to, that's fine, but I'm going to offer it again. I will give you, based on your last question, another good hint, but you have to sacrifice 1 question.
Why you do this to me?
But it'll be, you take my word at this. I think it'll be a good hint and guide you definitely in the right direction, based on your last question.
You know what? I'll take it only because I thought I had 2 questions left anyway.
Okay. So your previous question was about its size. So you said, is it, I think you asked if it was smaller than 3 toasters stacked on top of each other. Is that what you asked?
I just asked if it was smaller than 3 toasters.
Okay, then smaller than 3 toasters. So we're taking away a question, and I'm going to respond now with its size can usually be changed. It doesn't have just one size.
Because that makes me think of like a balloon, right? And then musical nature, you could like let it go. Or like a whoopee cushion, which I think whoopee cushions are usually small, so I don't think that would fit the bill. But
let me specify, just because I'm feeling generous here. When I say its size, I more mean its height.
Well, same thing. Like, it's a really tall
you'll know
balloon.
What I mean when you know what the answer is. Okay. All right. Fair.
Its height. It can be changed.
Or it's more about its verticality. Yeah.
It could be carried, but it's not meant to. Ooh, is its purpose to hold something else?
Yes. You have 1 question left.
Is the object how do I want to word this in a way that actually helps me without just being too specific? Hang on. Is the object's shape similar to that of a lamp, floor lamp?
Yes, you could say that. Yeah.
Then, as my guess, it's a mic stand.
Ding, ding, ding! You got it.
That was a
couple
good
hints,
one.
not too bad.
That was a good one. As just the stand itself, that was good.
Right. Because at first I was thinking I want to make it. I thought, I could do like a microphone. I thought, no, he could get to a microphone. I thought, ooh, the thing that holds microphones.
That's really good because I see what you mean by like outdoors, because like at an outdoor concert or whatever, I could see that.
Well, you know what I actually meant by that was when you said, is it in the home? And I said, traditionally, no.
Oh,
what I was trying to get at was
that's traditionally in a studio.
In like a studio or like a concert hall, or right. It's not in a home. That's why I told you, hey, go back to that. But it is outside too.
You and I do so much like YouTube work or whatever that I didn't even think like an average normie's life doesn't have a microphone stand in it.
Right, exactly. So that was good though,
because I've got an arm. I've got a microphone arm. I've got. Well, I guess they're not. It's not really a microphone stand. It's actually a camera stand that I've modified to be a microphone stand. So I've got like 2.
Right. I mean, I can count 4 mic stands right now.
You should have more mics.
But yeah, either way,
mic stands. You do music.
So But you were not going to get there, so I had to at least kind of guide you the right way.
The musical in nature, I was actually, interestingly, I was going in the right direction, but I just couldn't think of more things. When I asked the 3 toasters one, I was trying to narrow down whether or not it was more or less an object that was larger than a toaster, but used to help make music. I was thinking like a foot pedal for like drums.
Okay, so you were starting to think kind of like, is this an accessory of some kind?
I was starting to head in that direction, but I just didn't know what else I was working with. I'm like, what could it be? Because it can't be too big, because it's also not too heavy. So what are we looking at here?
Well, that was fun. We have
I'm a winner.
We've got a cemetery full of mic stands.
A cemetery full of mics.
I like that. That sounds like my next album cover.
That's
I don't know what the message would be there.
I don't know either, but I could totally see it, because it's a cemetery full of mics, and it's just MICS or whatever, and it's just a shot of like you and like or at least the silhouette of you, and the cemetery like tombstones are like blacked out and like in shade or whatever, and there's like a setting sun or whatever, but all of the tombstones are vaguely shaped like microphones.
That is really like a good visual. But I was thinking it was just going to be a cemetery full of different guys named Mike.
But that's what all the songs are about. The cover art looks like it's not.
Oh,
and
so
then you
there's
start
a double
singing
meaning.
about
Okay.
Mike in all of these. And how you miss him, because he died. Because he's in the cemetery. But like every song is like a different Mike. And actually you're a serial killer for people named Mike.
Yeah, there it is. I was going to say, either this poor guy knows a lot of Mikes that died, or there's something else going on. That's funny. Goodness. Hey, Weston, that was fun. We're running a little over. Where can people find you on the internet?
Oh, I can't tell them that. I got too many stalkers.
Oh, sorry.
No, you can find me, westonhasty.com. I do a lot of gaming stuff on Magic Man Mo on YouTube. Check that out. I do gaming stuff. Say hi to me on Twitter at Weston Hasty.
You can say hi to me over on YouTube. If you type in my name, Alex Duquette, you can find me there. And if you're there, you should check out my latest video where we're in the Halloween spirit right now. Check out my 10 iconic horror movie theme songs in 2 minutes. Check it out. If you like horror movies, you'll enjoy it. Go show that medley some love. I do other stuff too, podcasts and whatnot. You can find all that at alexduquette.net. In terms of Profoundish, you can find us exactly where you're listening or watching us now. It would mean a whole lot if you gave the video a like, you give us some stars, leave us a review if possible, depending on where you listen. All that stuff makes a difference. We also have social media. Platforms too. We're on X at Profoundish Pod, TikTok as well, Instagram. So go hang out with us. Follow us everywhere. And leave a comment on the YouTube video. Let's keep the conversation rolling.
Challenge everything.
Taste the that was supposed to be the
EA,
like the TV turning off afterwards, but it just sounded like me being like a drunk cat.
Follow Profoundish.
It doesn't have the same. It doesn't have the same ring.
Profoundish.
All right.